Hi everybody, welcome back to CityHair.com. I'm the Everyday Chef, and today I'm going to be doing a variation on a recipe that I really enjoy of chicken peppion. And the peppion sauce is really the star of the show, and in that is tomatillos, poblano peppers, which I've already cut up, just one pepper, some cilantro, some jalapeno, also some onion, garlic, and some other spices that I'll show you here in a minute. But the tomatillo is really the focus of the dish. And when you buy a tomatillo, it comes with this papery film on the outside of it. And when you peel the film back, the tomatillo itself is really sticky. So you need to wipe that off or rinse it off and let them, dry them off or let them drain or whatever. But this is a really good tomatillo. In fact, this is probably the biggest tomatillo that I have found. And when you buy them, you want to look for the bright green color and make sure, there's no bad spots. I have one here that does have a bad spot on it. We'll just cut it off. There it is right there. We'll just cut that off and use the rest of it. And usually tomatillos are found in salsa verde. And this is one reason why I found this recipe is I wanted to see what else I could do with it. And this I really, really enjoy. So to take the paper off, and then I have a wet paper towel here that I'm just going to wipe all the sticky stuff off with. It just helps to make it a little bit more manageable when you're handling it. And then some things that I've done to prepare for this. I have my broiler in the oven. I have it on high because basically we're going to roast the tomatillos and the poblanos. So that's on high and that's already done. You can see I've already cut up the jalapeno and the cilantro, and that doesn't have to be anything perfect, a really rough chop, because basically you're going to put it in the blender in a minute when it's all ready to blend together. So what we're going to do, I have the poblano peppers, just one pepper cut into, into 4 pieces, seeded, and then take the tomatillos. Well, we'll take this one and cut the bad spot off first, as low as it goes. We'll just set that aside and quarter them. That's all you need to do is just quarter them. And I'm putting them in a mixing bowl because you're going to toss them with olive oil. Not much, about a tablespoon or so of olive oil. And I have my broiler on high heat. If you have a broiler that has different heat settings, I have mine on high. And we're going to roast them in the broiler for about 10 to 12 minutes or until they get nice and charred. The charring is a really good flavor that adds well to the sauce. There we go. And just put about a tablespoon or so of olive oil on there. And just toss it around. You can use a spoon if you think you're going to get it all over the place, which I normally do, so we'll see here. Actually, I'll have it edited out so I don't look like I don't know what I'm doing. But there we go. They're nice. They're tossed with the olive oil. Just get a cookie sheet and just lay them out on the cookie sheet. Nothing special, just however. And that's it. And place them in the oven. Whew. Now, while that's being done, we're going to toast off some pistachios. Now, normally when I make this recipe, in fact the first time I made it with pumpkin seeds, which is what the original recipe called for. But oftentimes in a grocery store, pumpkin seeds are hard to come by when it's not in the fall. So instead I have some pistachios here that I have shelled. This is probably about 3/4 of a cup. You can use a little bit less if you like. Now we'll put this over medium heat. And also we're going to add 2 whole cloves of allspice. I did not expect to have whole allspice in my spice rack. I thought I had ground allspice. If you do have ground allspice, 2 cloves would be 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground allspice. And also we're going to get some whole peppercorns here out of our pepper grinder. We need 5 whole peppercorns. Or if you like it a little bit more spicy, go ahead and add a couple more. And we're going to let that toast off until you can really smell the pistachio. I would say maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Now, notice I didn't put any oil or anything in the pan. It was already heated over medium heat. So just put it in there and just let them sit and enjoy. And basically what that's doing is extracting some of the oils that are still remaining in the pistachios and in the spices. I'm also going to add some ground cumin to it after it toasts for a little while. And the reason why I'm not putting the ground spice on first or in with it is because I don't want this to burn. And it will burn very quickly if it's already ground, so I'll add that a little bit later. Okay, so I'm just getting to the point where I can start to smell the pistachio, and you might be able to see some of it, the skins are starting to get that nice toast color to it. So I'm going to go ahead and add some ground cumin, about 1/4 teaspoon, which luckily is about all I have left in this container. I'm just going to let that toast off just a little bit. And also, let's see how my, oh yeah, got the tomatillos and the poblanos. The pan got a little crooked. And so those are good. I mean, it's starting to get that char on it a little bit. The poblanos are really nice and charred. I love that flavor. So we're just going to leave those there and let those cool off. And I don't know if you'll be able to tell or not, but the cumin is starting to change colors to get a little bit darker than that golden orange color that it already is. So we're going to kill the heat on that. We're just going to transfer it to a plate. Get a utensil here so I don't spill it all over. I'm not left-handed, so get all the spice out. Let's leave that there and let it cool off. Now you're not going to change pans. You're going to use the same pan for everything. And now what we're going to do is we're going to cook off some onion. What I have here is just again a rough chop, not very small at all, because it's all, like I said, going to go in the blender. But we're just going to saute those off really quick. Put about another tablespoon of oil. Let that get hot. And then while that's getting hot, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I can get all of these off the pan so it's not sticking. All right. I'm just going to put the onion right in there. Now with onion, you just want to cook it off until it gets transparent. Basically just to give them a quick saute. And then once that's done, we're going to add the onions, the cilantro, the jalapeno, and our pistachios and spices all right into a blender. With 1 cup, I have 1 cup of low sodium chicken broth ready to go. And we're going to put that in the blender as well. And all of this is really just a low sodium meal. It's very good. The most sodium or the most salt on anything really comes off of the pistachios. And if you want, you can rinse them off, but make sure they dry completely, or you pat them dry with a paper towel. But I'm not adding any other salt to this other than what's on the pistachios.